I've got a few projects coming up, narrative projects and spec ads, and while I love the image I've been getting out of my Blackmagic 6K full frame, I have been considering maybe I should use the Lumix S5 for the IBIS, be able to do some better handheld work and maybe run a little faster. So I figured I'd do some side-by-side tests and see is there a lot of image characteristics that I'm going to lose by using the S5 versus the 6K. There's only so much you can really glean from YouTube compression, so whenever I watch these videos I want to hear the creators' thoughts on the matter, so at the end I'll chime in again and point out the things that I noticed. Rather than shooting test charts or anything like that, I decided to do a series of shots like I would do for a short film, going for a darker, moodier feel. I figured this would be the best way to give me an idea how these cameras compare in an actual narrative shoot. I didn't do any per camera adjustments, that way we can see exactly how these two images will perform under the exact same grade. I set the white balance to be the same on both cameras, the ISO is the same on both cameras, and then I've just applied a look over the top of the timeline. In that look, I'm pulling the exposure down by 2 stops. As you'd expect, given that they're both using the same sensor, they both look very similar. There are slight differences in the colors. I think there's slight differences in the tones, the exposure tones, the shadows, and everything like that. Across the board, I noticed the Blackmagic has better skin tones, and the Lumix, the blues and greens are much punchier. I kind of prefer the look of the Blackmagic. No one color seems to stand out more than it should, and it just gives me a more consistent image. Here on this shot, we can definitely see the blues in the shirt are just much punchier, just kind of stand out more, but I prefer the skin tones in the Blackmagic. Alright, here I've boosted the image by 2 stops rather than pulling it down by 2 stops. I put a little denoising on the Blackmagic since that is raw footage that has no denoising, and here there's a strong difference in colors in the shadows. Where the Blackmagic stays really clean, the Lumix has a strong green tint in the shadows. I didn't notice that green tint so much in the correct exposures, but boosting it back up, you can definitely see that. On a shoot we did just recently, I was doing some handheld work with the Blackmagic 6K. In the future, I'll probably leave the 6K on sticks and grab the S5 to do all the handheld work since that has IBIS and we'll be able to get a smoother shot. And I know now that I'm not going to lose a lot in image character by switching to that camera. Yep, that's all I got.